This is Light Ted. This is the Light Ted online video show, but we're launching a new one called Dark Skies Ahead podcast. That's right. We're going to have a special new host, but this is the introductory show in January 2021. We got to pull our heads out of the sand as an industry and start to see the real issues of the world. This show is brought to you by Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com. Keeping it easy with Keystone, Greg.
That's right. You know all about their interior products. They've got absolutely everything you can use on the interior for LED lighting. And now they're getting it to the exterior. And in addition to that, what they're going to do is work on this dark sky initiative that we're going to talk a lot more about as we go this year. And they're going to make dark sky compliant fixtures. They're also going to help you with layouts, make it easy for you so that when a customer asks you to make their facility dark sky, it's going to happen. When they ask you, Keystone will help you with it. So be ready for it.
Light made easy. Keep it easy with Keystone Technologies, folks. What's up, Greg?
Okay, so Mr. Fancy Pants over there is a 10.5 illuminating predictions for 2021. I was reading through it. You know, sometimes you could share this stuff with me as a co-host, but you didn't. So I had to read this quote, and I'm going to read it right back to you. You're up there with all the big dogs in lighting, and it says, Michael Colligan, host of Get a Grip on Lighting podcast, his prediction for 2021. The general public will become aware of the real and disastrous environmental and human health consequences of light pollution made magnitudes worse by the recent and ongoing deployment and conversion of outdoor lighting infrastructure to LED, which is largely poorly designed and mostly 4,000 or 5,000 Kelvin. The irony will not be lost when the public realizes that the vast majority of this was subsidized by their electricity bills and done in the name of environmentalism. Pretty intense statement there, bud. But I see what you're saying. Like what we talked about at the beginning when we were doing all these exterior lighting was to do what? Save energy. And what does saving energy do? Helps the environment, right? Supposedly. Or does it?
Not in Ontario, it doesn't.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of misconceptions, right? And you know, we talked to Rebecca Costa on the lighting show a couple months ago, and she spent a lot of time telling us about mitigations and how mitigations only get you so far. You can't mitigate your way out of problems. Like, we can't save energy our way out of, climate change or any of the other problems that scientists are telling us about. The second thing is the deployment of inductive argumentation or the inductive reasoning. Okay. So as opposed to deductive reasoning. Okay. So we allocate the ability to be inductive to experts. Okay. And what this means is that, let's say there was a pandemic virus, right? All of a sudden, the leaders of our society sort of lose their authority to make decisions, and we grant authority to experts, epidemiologists, virologists, doctors, people that understand how viruses work. They then deploy inductive reasoning to try and predict the future. Okay? The problem with inductive reasoning is that the future is impossible to predict. So, there's another principle that goes along with this, and that is the idea that any intervention becomes the next problem. So one of the great examples of this is the idea that that was forged in the 1970s and 80s, that corporations exist in order to create shareholder value. That is the number one priority of corporations, and that was established and preached and everything else, and that has largely become the problem. So our solutions to things become different kinds of problems. And when the lighting industry decided that it was going to lead the world in the fight against the climate change and all the monsters of energy use, that, the demons in the night that we had to slay, and we have to, we ran stampeded towards this. And a lot of times, in these days we live in today with pandemic viruses, you hear something called herd immunity, right? We want to establish herd immunity either through dispersion of the virus or by a vaccine or whatever. But what really we see that usually happens with inductive reasoning is a form of herd mentality, right? So we have herd mentality, not herd immunity. And herd mentality is a situation is when you start going in this direction, it becomes very difficult to stop, The movement itself has its own intrinsic momentum and entropy, right? So what happened was they kicked off LEDs. LEDs last forever. LEDs are energy efficient. 5,000 Kelvin is better than HPS, and all the old stuff is bad, and we need disruption and creative destruction, and we need all the new stuff is good. And that's what happened. And this industry just plowed forward full steam. I am Lady Macbeth with my blood-stained hands, my friend. I can't even stop now.
I was going to say, it's still going on. So this is something we're talking about potentially in the future. But yes.
I'm trying to turn around and swim against this flowing river that is flowing so fast in one direction, and that is 5,000 K good, more light better. One of the problems with the lighting industry is like the idea of everything's a minimum foot candles, minimum foot candles. What's the minimum? Okay, then times that by 10 and we're good. And nobody's going to
hit that minimum.
Yes, and there's such a huge problem with the momentum in this direction. And how do you stop it? I mean, everybody that matters already knows, but still we move forward, right? Everybody that matters already knows about this issue, right? How come we can't stop? We need more creative destruction. We need to get rid of all the lighting people, and we need to do this thing this new lighting thing fast, right? And then we realize that there's problems with water, there's problems with land, there's problems with human health. There's all manner of problems that have been created by this, and not to mention beauty. So, I mean, I think the general public's going to start to become aware of this, and I think it's going to happen in 2021. And I think you and I and the Dark Sky Association, everyone else is going to start to push this. And we're going to turn the boat around. We're going to turn this thing around. And I think we do that by letting people, the public, know that this is an environmental problem, that light pollution is a legitimate environmental problem. And the good news is, Greg, that it's solvable. We can fix it.
Just change everything we just installed in the last 10 years.
Well, a lot of it's burned out anyway, right?
You're right. Yeah.
You know, like a lot of it, you can go to different municipalities that move first. I remember I was at a meeting years ago, almost a decade ago, and this one municipality said, we're the first municipality in Canada or whatever to change our street lights to LED, and you know, nobody's announcing that from a pulpit in that township anymore. It's big problems there, right? The company that they bought the fixtures from, it doesn't exist anymore. You know, and so there's all manner of other issues that are going on, let alone the LEDs burning out. And so, you know, it's time for reflection, Greg. It's time for us to sit back as an industry. Don't look back in anger. There's nobody to blame. Who are you going to blame? Everyone's to blame.
Time to move forward. Get it done.
Yeah.
Start with awareness. Work our way through it.
Yeah. And you know what the good news is? Other environmental problems thrash around insanely, I would say. You know, I mean, and I'm going to say this with a straight face, that the climate change crowd is always talking about, you know, how we need to change. They have no solutions to their problems. Right? They have no solutions. Yep. You know, you have to use natural gas if you live in Canada. Like that is a monster. Like, how are you going to convert every home in Canada? You're not going to heat your home? Are you going to convert them all to electric heat? We have enough electricity in Ontario, Quebec. We could do it. We could convert them all to clean nuclear, clean hydro-powered electric heat. If I was on the HVAC side, I'd be like licking my chops for that. You know, but people like forced air.
Right.
They don't like electric baseboard heaters. Right? And so, but at the lighting industry, as a lighting industry, it's like we're just denying the problem. The solution is there. The technology is there. It's energy efficient. It's controllable. Like everything is in place. So this industry has no excuses. Absolutely no excuses. And to deny this as an issue, to deny that light pollution is not a serious environmental problem, to deny that that there's damage being caused by this and that it shouldn't be fixed in the name of safety. Should I get into safety, Greg? Because I could have a whole talk on safety. Safety is not a virtue.
Huh?
Safety is a mitigation. Another mitigation. How many mitigations do you want? Like, what, do you want to, you could not leave your home. I don't think that would be safe, though. Right? If you didn't leave your home, you didn't see anybody. We could, there's only so much safety that we can take before we don't have a society anymore. And so that, like, you don't need to light up. What street do you live on, Greg?
Old Mill Road.
You don't need to light up Old Mill Road like a prison yard.
Right.
You understand? Like, it can be done very tactfully. It can be done to make it look beautiful. And that's what we want to do. We want to live in beautiful neighborhoods. We don't want to live in safe neighborhoods. What's safe? Having your street lit up like a prison yard makes you feel safe? I think it makes you feel like a prisoner, actually.
Yeah.
So
that's what the goal of this is to change the perception, get the awareness out there. The show.
Oh, yeah, baby. And we're going to come out hot. That's right. People are going to be pissed off. A lot of people aren't going to like it. But, hey, it is what it is. Folks, this has been Dark Skies Ahead. That's right. It's a new show. We're going to have a nice new host on it. Greg's going to be intermittently in and out of it. I might even be intermittently in and out of it. Who knows? But it's brought to you by the easy folks. That's right. Keep it easy. Going to make it easy. Light made easy with Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com, baby.